Hello and welcome to Advertisers Watching Ads. My name is Tom Ollerton. I'm the founder of Automated Creative, and this is a weekly show where brands watch other brands' ads and discuss what's good and bad about them. This week, we are brought to you by our partners, Contagious.com. So please go and check those guys out after the show who have helped choose the ad this week. But before we get to this week's creative, let's meet this week's guests.
Hi, I'm Cordelia. I'm the Media and Content Director at Mars Wrigley in the UK.
And hi, I'm Johann. I'm the Global Marketing Director for Logitech for Creators at Logitech.
So this week's ad is by KFC in the UAE. And KFC, certainly in the UK, was voted Brand of the Year for its innovative advertising last year. Faced with the COVID crisis, they did 180-degree turn away from finger licking good to hashtag Rate My KFC, encouraging people to fake their own fried chicken. Also confident of poking fun at their own issues, like when they owned up to running out of chicken with a simple FCK. But this ad was created by TBWA /RAAD in the UAE and picks on competitors who steal the brand's images. It ran in the Middle East and has certainly turned some heads.
KFC is famous for finger-licking good chicken, a taste that cannot be matched. But we're no stranger to copycats. And now, they're stealing our images. They download images of our chicken from Google and use them to sell, well, their chicken. Come on, guys. Fried chicken, not fried pixels. So what do we do with these shameless thieves? We help them. KFC Chicken Stock. An image bank full of KFC chicken in high resolution, from strips to breasts to drumsticks. Free of pixelation, free of charge. Ready to be stolen. Want to steal our images? Fine, but do so properly, please. So how did it all work? First, we announced that they could steal our images. We even knocked on some doors to confront those thieves face to face and invite them to steal as well. But then we tracked down the IPs from everyone who did, and with their locations at hand, we made it very public. Which generated buzz, which then drove people to our stores, making it the first time being stolen from was actually profitable. All without getting our hands dirty. Well, kind of. KFC Chicken Stock. You can steal our images, but you will never steal our taste.
I'm going to ask you to vote for this creative, the whole campaign. So 1, 2, 3. A 2 and a 2. Wow, you guys are harsh. Okay, Cordelia, what a campaign. So much fun, so clever, so smart. Well, that's what I think. But what about you?
I was really torn on this one. In general, I love KFC's work. I love their tone of voice. They've done previous stuff in this space before about kind of highlighting people copying their name that I really like. But the tone just kind of clashed for me on this. I think the insight was great. You know, chicken shops want to be us. They want our food to look as great as us. I think there was a campaign called, I think it was Chicken Town in a couple of years back where they highlighted all the HFC and the IFC and the BFCs and how they're kind of flattered. So I really like the kind of first half of the campaign. People are copying our products, you know, here we'll help you out and give you the images. But I just thought there was a bit of kind of meanness in the tone to then kind of catching people out on stealing their images when they encourage them to do it. That I think it could have just been executed in a bit more of a playful way. And I thought there was something a bit funny about telling people you can take our photos and then saying, "Oh, you stole our photos." That just felt a bit mean on these.
I think that's a very creative idea, as in usually most big brands would be pissed off at copycats or people pretending that they are as good or they look as good as the original. So I thought it was a very provocative angle to say, look, those guys are stealing stuff from us, but let us help them. So to some extent, I guess the intent here was to make the brand feel more relatable and we're helping each other. I have two main issues. The first one is the tone of voice that feels a bit like, we're helping them, but still their food is still crap. So I don't know if that was the intent from KFC being very cynical to say, hey, look, now your food is really going to look bad compared to our nice images. Therefore, next time you go to KFC, as a marketeer and as a consumer, that feels a bit weird to me.
Well, I don't know if you saw last week's episode, but it was to do with the Curtis brothers ketchup. They found loads of TripAdvisor reviews for the worst restaurants in Berlin. And my criticism of that ad is that was very much trying to take a swipe at the little guy, some calf somewhere that got like 1-star review, probably struggling to make a living. And then Curtis brothers show up and sort of slag them off on a poster, like publicly. I sort of take umbrage at that. But I hear you, actually, Cordelia. It's like, it's fine, but it's not kind of great.
I was just about to mention that example from last week's show, because in the case of the ketchup brand you just mentioned, they show, look, we're trying to help you, Mr. Small Restaurant, get better ratings. So I see it more as a brand helping the smaller guys than, the KFC campaign where it's like, steal my stuff. So the word stealing is, even if the brand is proposing to it, it's still how it's called. And it does, and they don't improve actually the consumer experience. They don't improve the food or whatever. So frankly, as a consumer, for me, and as a marketeer, I found the ketchup brand campaign much more positive and constructive to the smaller guys than the KFC one, where it's all about image. Yeah, but usually you don't go to a restaurant to eat images, right? It's like you go there for the food.
These are people that are taking the work that KFC have actually paid for and then using it themselves. So don't they deserve to have a swipe? If you do something illegal, surely it's within a brand's right to be able to at least put up a digital out of home and have a swipe at them.
Going door to door, giving out a flyer, hey, you can get some better images. And then going, hey, you used our images. I mean, you've invited them to do it, no? I think it's fine, but I just think it's a bit on the meaner side. And I think they get it better when they're more on the kind of cheeky, like, guys, we're flattered, you're copying us, instead of, hey, you're stealing our stuff.
How do you think the man or woman on the street would react to those out-of-home placements that we saw a glimpse of?
I think it is a bit complicated. I mean, obviously, probably the initial reaction they're going after is, oh, instead of going there that are pretending to be KFC, I'll get a real KFC, which is obviously quite nice and simple. As a consumer and maybe marketeer, if I hadn't seen this campaign and I saw a billboard, I'd be like, oh, understand a bit more about what happened, Google it, and realize that KFC have given them the photos. This is misleading, and KFC are helping them being misleading. That makes KFC seem a bit kind of in on it, which doesn't make me feel as positively about them. So
Johann, what would you have done to make this better if you were the creative director on this?
I'm not sure I would have actually bought the campaign in the first place. When I look at a big idea, I look at a few criteria. One is, does that build the brand's equity and benefit? Two is, does that inspire like a holistic execution so that you can get a full campaign out of it? Three is, does it catch attention? Does it include iconic assets? Does it connect emotionally? And is it simple enough for people to really get it? And I think I could tick a couple of them. Can I really do a long-lasting campaign out of it? Not so sure.
And Cordelia, what will you be taking back to your team about this campaign?
I think for me, it's always about what emotion are you left with, and is it a positive or negative emotion? I think you can be cheeky, you can have fun, you can go kind of outside of the norm of how big companies should act, and that can still leave you with, a laugh and something positive. I think when we've had ads that haven't worked brilliantly in the past, they've just been left, the consumer's been left a bit too negative. And I just think this is a bit, bullying is too strong a word, but it's a bit, hey, look at them. And you should always be left with a positive, if playful emotion.
Well, thank you so much, Cordelia, Johann. We will see you all next week.